Hey, what's going on, guys? Garden Shed here, and welcome. So, Katie is in for a service. So, the nice people at Wheels Motorcycles, they were meant to give me a CB500. Instead, they've given me the new Kawasaki Z650. I quite like this bike. Oh god, I haven't ridden naked for a while. Nice mirrors, much better mirrors than Katie. Seats firmer, clutch is lighter, brakes are lighter. Got a nice gear indicator. It's only done 200 miles. Now they're saying it's a little bit less powerful because it's Euro 4 compliant. I can actually completely flat foot it, which I can't on Katie. Shit. Fucking hell. That was almost expensive. Seat position's a little bit more cramped. She is quite a lot shorter. Don't like the gear lever. It's very, very close to foot peg. So it'd be nice to see what she's like. Feels weird riding a bike without a fairing on. Just seems, well, naked, let's be honest. Nice smooth engine, much less vibrating. So for those of you that don't know, my normal bike is a 2016 Kawasaki ER6F. So basically the third version of the previous version of this. So first thing, I mean, the seat is a lot more solid. The gear shifter is much shorter, and I don't know if the gearbox is fully warmed up yet, just because she's a new bike, but it seems slightly scratchy. It doesn't have that solid clunk in the gearbox that Katie has, which I find quite reassuring. But no, I mean, the mirrors are brilliant. Much better mirrors than Katie, considering I almost stuffed it coming straight out the dealer. Much lighter, definitely less weight to her. Now, chassis is meant to be better, the suspension's meant to be better. The handlebars, she's definitely more upright than Katie. The handlebars are closer together. Not such a big fan of that. It's more like the previous versions of the ER6. Now I do have to be careful on the revs with this bike because it's only done 200 miles. It's still in its initial service. Switchgear have a nice response in them. I mean, yeah, she's crazy flickable. Seat's definitely less comfortable. It's much more solid. There's a strong smell of weed somewhere around here. There's a lot of everyone says the chassis is tighter. There's a lot more vibrations in the foot pegs. A lot more. And I'm only doing 50. Less engine braking. Oh god, my arse is vibrating. The wind buffeting, there's barely any of it. It's actually better than my ER6F. Suspension's softer. I quite like the idea of a rear seat cowl, but all it seems to be doing is trapping making my bum vibrate and sort of my lower back, and I don't like that. Feels like you're going a lot faster than you actually are. I think on a third bike you don't necessarily feel that, and at 60, you know, the wind is perfectly bearable. Okay, it is quite strong winds today. At 60 it's absolutely fine, but at 70, Christ, it feels like it's ripping your head off. And I'm sure I like being able to touch the ground a little bit more. It's 3 centimeters down. I mean, Katie, I can just flat foot this. I can flat foot bent leg. So it's a great bike, seat height wise, for shorter riders. And that slip assist clutch, you really notice it. It's much smoother. You've been much jerkier on the clutch, and it seems to not mind it. And I think that's the thing. If you were doing loads of motorway miles and stuff like that, you wouldn't buy a naked bike. If you're just tootling along the countryside or commuting around a town, you probably would do. I love how flickable it is, and it feels stable in the corners. Clutch lever's wiggly. Brake? No, just the clutch. Dash? Meh. I'd say it's nice and clear to read. sort of slightly more out of eye line. When the road starts to get a little bit twistier, even on these corners, where they're just gentle and wallowing, this bike does feel fun. But we have a nice bit of dual carriageway, some long sweepers, some hairpins. Yeah, Speedo's slightly out of sync. I do like the gear indicator though. It's the one thing about my bike I'm not a huge fan of, is the fact it doesn't have one. You can get one, but it's like stuck on the fairing and it looks stupid. And there's also, on this road, if you're right in the middle of it, there's quite a few bumps and different things. It's a good way to test the suspension of a bike. I mean, that 125 scooter I had, that was absolutely crippling along here. But it remains really, really flickable in the corners. And I know this reviews seem quite complacent. It just, I think there's two reasons for that. One is, I've done so many miles on an ER6F. I'm used to the way it feels. I can hop on an ER6N. Okay, I've got a slightly shorter nose, and everything feels familiar in terms of the ride, manoeuvrability, everything. The engine braking. I come on this, and it's just not the same. I mean, it hasn't got the engine braking nowhere. It's what I really hope this isn't what Euro 4 has done to bikes. I mean, one of the things I definitely miss with Katie is because of her weight. I mean, she doesn't feel heavy when you ride her, but she's nowhere near as flickable as this. I think that's why a lot of people buy into naked bikes, is, you know, if you're not doing the distance, they're great. I may be completely wrong about all of this. Everyone goes, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. All I've really got to compare this to is my bike. And at the moment, I'm afraid that just doesn't match up. Really doesn't. I'm quite disappointed by that. I was I love the look of these. I think that's the thing, when you look forward to something so much, there's very few things that are quite as good. I mean, it feels, the power, you can see, look, if I go loose, power's pretty good. It's definitely got low down punch. I mean, on the back roads this is brilliant, but I would not, as I keep saying, I would not want to do a long journey. It feels lovely and planted in the corners, but also nice and light. Those vibrations would just get me. And I quite like the feel of it, because the seat height's lower. You feel slightly closer to the ground, and it just builds on that sensation of speed. The gearbox, now it's warmed up, it doesn't give you that satisfying clunk, but it's not as grindy as it was. I think it just needed a bit of oil going around it. I don't think the bike was fully warmed up. On the back roads it's fantastic. I'm sorry if the reviews sound a little bit down about it. On the back roads it's amazing fun. It's just dual carriageway. It was horrible. The salesman asked me to be nice with it, so I've not taken it over 6,000 revs. Within those 6,000 revs, you have quite a bit of fun. I'd be really interested to see what the fully fed version's like. Anyway guys, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you ever so much for watching, and take care.